it counteracts the fattiness of it, which is fun. You know? Wow. Lots of flavor. So what do you think of that with the chocolina? Is this for me, Matthew? It is. Thank you, Matthew.
That's where I want to be, and you can enjoy some of these coming up. It's a series that's happening, and a wine series that Rioja's putting on. Today's a great show, and we thank you so much for tuning in. The Modern Eater Show continues on this Wednesday. It's August 26th, and we thank you so much. It's the day after, right? Alongside of Brian Freeman and Jay Parker, I'm Greg Hollenbach. We've got a great guest here with us in studio. Beth Gruitch is here with us. Beth, last night we had a summer dinner series. We've been doing them all summer long. Tuesday nights, you see the lineup on the wall right there. The Downtown Pizza Republica, they offered their space to us. Generally, we do our dinner series in this little humble kitchen. We need to be outside, well-appointed. The world's watching us. We've got some cool dinners that we've done. Last night was our 7th out of 8. It was Justin Brunson. He kind of came out of retirement to do a dinner for us. Last one's Troy Gard next Tuesday night, but we're coming off a high last night. It was a really cool dinner, sold-out crowd of right around 50, well-appointed, spacious, courses coming out, cooking outside. There's the Blue Bear right behind us. It was a nice night. And so we're just kind of relishing in that after the day after. But thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
What were we just looking at right there? It looked, first of all, like someplace I'd want to be. But, no, we're just going to show you on video camera. What were we looking at there?
It's Spain. You know, it's one of my favorite places to travel to be. Some of my favorite memories are there as well. And we are also doing wine dinners, which is super fun. And we decided to go back to some places that Jen and I have traveled to. And we included another Jen, so just to confuse everything, of course. And so the three of us traveled through Spain and got to see some really cool smaller producers for wine and really enjoy like the land and the people and the culture. And so, quite honestly, since we aren't able to travel there this year, we decided to bring a little taste of that to Denver and to have some fun with it.
Oh, man, we got a lot to catch up on. So, first of all, this is really my first time. You've known Brian for quite some time, I believe. I really haven't had the chance to get to know you. Could you give us 30 seconds on just who you are and a little bit of your background?
Sure. I'm actually a native of Colorado, but I've been in Denver now for 22 years, and Jen Jasinski and I are business partners, and we opened up Rioja a number of years ago, back in 04, excuse me. So we've been around for a while, but we were business partners before that as well. And I run the front of the house. I do all the wine purchasing, or I used to do all the wine purchasing. We've grown a little bit, so I can't do all of that anymore. Had to give up some of the fun to the staff so they can enjoy some great bottles as well. But I do service and a little bit more business side of it and marketing. I get to have my fingers in a little bit of everything. And Jen and I have 4 restaurants. We have Rioja. We have Bistro Vendome. We used to have Euclid Hall and Stoic and Genuine, as well as Ultrea. And I'm so used to saying those in that order that I always kind of hesitate when we say Euclid Hall. But
I have them written in that order.
Yeah, that's
well, which is interesting.
That's the order in which they were born.
Yeah,
so,
is that right? Okay. Little did we know, or I didn't know. So, here we are in unprecedented times. And the only thing that's certain is uncertainty. You guys have been business partners for quite some time. You've got some very well-established businesses. And now everything's on its ear.
Yep.
Everything's on its ear. So where do you go from there? What are some of the pivot points? What have you been looking at, just the broad brush, and then we can kind of go in on a few of these topics?
Absolutely. I knew I should have journaled all of this since March, right?
I know.
I have to say that restaurant individuals, we're fierce. We either go after it and figure it out, or we crumble, either one. And we've instantly got it together and decided we were going to concentrate on to-go business out of Rioja and then slowly reopen up the other ones in a very unprecedented time when we were thinking, what the heck is going on? Yeah. And not on a daily basis, on an hourly basis.
Yeah.
And so we've done everything from to-go to know people inside to, these masks and, do you wear gloves? Do you not wear gloves? How do you provide a service at our caliber where we're not allowed to replace silverware and we're not, minimal touches on the tables and things like that. And not to mention the hospitality towards our favorite people in the world, our staff and our regular guests. There's nothing better than a warm hug. And that's been challenging. But we've also, here we are, 4 or 5 months later now.
Yeah,
and we've
it's
got
March. It's
outdoor
March
dining.
212th.
Yeah, exactly. Right, it feels like it. We've now got outdoor dining.
Yeah.
We've got restrictions on that, but there's this unknown as to what's going to happen.
Yep.
The summer's coming to an end. We have these beautiful tents. I can now add that to my resume that I can put up a 20 by 30 tent.
Alone?
Right?
Yeah. In the wind.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, can you heat it? Which I think is the big thing that you're asking is like, how do we get into the winter? And now how do I pivot and make this place? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And with not too many expenses.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, these tents are not cheap. Buying outdoor furniture is not cheap. So we're trying to, save our money for the winter to make it through so we can pay our rent and be good business people and to keep the hospitality and the food quality, all of those things that we won't deviate from.
Right. The course.
Yeah. And then it's like, what other expenses are we going to get hit with? And we all know that minimum wage is coming.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say another hit, but I have to say when the 10 o'clock curfew came along, I was like, whatever, that's easy. That was like, there's no more what's next. It's just, how do we deal with it?
Right.
I'm like, 10 o'clock curfew, maybe we can capitalize on this and get a bottle of wine on the table that they can take with them,
Yeah.
So there's been some good things that have happened, maybe take away alcohol, all that stuff. It doesn't amount to enough that it is a game changer for us by any means, but we certainly have had to hopefully be leaders in this and keep a good attitude and keep the perspective that we're going to make it through it.
Yeah. All right. Great place to start. Here with us today, Beth Gruitch and Crafted Concepts. We're going to dig in a little bit now that we kind of got the overall. So, some people say, well, COVID, right, but this is kind of the quickening. The attrition was bound to happen. There were so many property taxes and minimum wage growth. And what do you do with all of your LY numbers are out the door? All your 5 years are out you really have nothing to base progress on right now at all. You can't, can you? Can you look to the past to see what you're doing right now and make business decisions long term, or is it a hurry up and wait and hang on situation that you're in right now?
You definitely still have to plan. You have to have some sort of roadmap. We're forecasting through next year. And what does that look like with salaries? What does that look like with revenues? I'm constantly looking at the revenues each week to see if they're growing. So there is a benchmark. We are growing every week, which is great. The weather's been great.
Yes.
So there are benchmarks. You just have to really look at every single penny. You talk about the attrition rate of the restaurants having to, it has to happen. We were just so saturated. And that in its own right, in my opinion, was ruining our business anyways. We were fighting for so much of the business that was out there. I think so many people were honestly either cheapening their product or giving it away at happy hour. And we've conditioned people to expect that. We had to relook at our entire business model and say what is working for us and what isn't, and what are we going to bring back and what aren't we. And, we've always had this philosophy. Our food is always sustainable. That stuff is very important. That is never compromised. And on our wine list, we've always looked for little funky finds that, one, it's not Kendall Jackson. You can go to the store and see how much it is. But I still want to provide a really great product for people, one that they're very happy paying XYZ for it. So we've had to get really creative. We've had to get creative with wine dinners and going live on the internet and saying, this is what we're doing. All the while really keeping our integrity and it's something that we all want to do. If you can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to do, and it's not going to be successful if we're not into it. So clearly the wine dinners we're into, and we're having a good time doing them. But same thing too, like, Stoic and Genuine. I love our seafood boils, and we're doing them every Tuesday night. They're awesome, and you get a boatload of seafood. It's delicious, and it makes me feel like I'm on the coast. So there is a little escape there, I guess, and nice bubbles to go with it. But we're still doing things, but all of those ideas that have been in our head forever have to come to fruition now. Now's the time.
And that's a team thing, though, right?
It is. It's totally team.
Once your processes and procedures are in place, and you really hope that, all right, we put great people around us, now we may have to pivot a little bit, but we have the infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and you're looking at that, and I love to hear the optimism, kind of similar brain to myself, and I don't want to diminish you at all, but in the sense of you have to look for opportunity. You have to look right now at opportunity. So the things that you cannot control, you're not going to be able to control. But the things that you can are really what you're focusing in on. What can you control right now?
You control yourself. And coming in every day with an optimistic, we're going to make this happen. Yep. And that starts at the top. That starts across the board. The woe is me is contagious. And as soon as your staff knows that and starts to feel that, it's deafening for your business. So we know we can control that. So, we take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. Yeah. We are still very guest orientated. Yeah. I want people to come in and look at a dish and be like, wow. And so, wow, when that wine comes to the table, and just really, they're choosing to dine out with us. And that's a lot to ask people to do right now. Yeah. And I want to give them something that they won't make at home. For instance, the tortelloni.
I've got it right.
I mean, you could try to make this at home, but
I have too. I really have.
And it didn't come out.
Well, it turns into a
that.
stew. Yeah, and I can't get that right.
So that's one of the most delicious things that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And I want our guests to taste that and to, and when they can't decide what to have, why not have a little taster of it and do a little menu tasting for them?
Have you seen Jen Jasinski's creativity get pushed into a new realm?
Oh my gosh, that woman she's amazing. I mean, she's always thinking outside the box. She's always thinking about how it can be better. This is one dish that I don't know that she can make better, and I don't even know that she's tried to make better, to be honest with you. But the menu is constantly evolving. It's constantly seasonal. And she's always playing with new stuff. So, it's great to see that.
Beth, I give it up to you all because from a business perspective, seeing you and being able to talk with you, I admire you because of this determination. Your businesses are in one of the hardest hit areas of town right now. Yeah. Most of your properties, most of your doors are on Larimer, in the Union Station, in places that, going in the train station right now. Yeah. Is it even how? Is it even open? What's going on?
I think that's a wonderful question, and who knows your leasing situations? I don't know. But those are the things that you will be facing is, okay, we have a great concept, but is this place going to be feasible to us? Is it? I mean, what are you doing now with juggling, what is it, 5 restaurants?
4 of them now.
4 of them now? Yeah. Are you looking at, well, if we can just get this one to be okay, this one will be okay, or are they thrive? I mean, what's the kind of the address, the state of the state, if you will?
It all depends, So, for instance, at Rioja, our lunch business, without anybody being downtown, is a challenge. So, as we reopened, Jen came up with this amazing concept. It's called Flavor Dojo, and it's all lighter salads and heirloom beans and grains and super healthy, delicious. You would never know, all of that yummy stuff in there. And we still, of course, have our chicken salad sandwich on the menu. But we have to try different things, and this is the time to do it. We've also done a couple pop-up things at Ultrea where we're doing, it's called Split Lip Chicken, and it is hot chicken, and I mean it's hot, and it's delicious. And so we're just doing different things to create energy and to create a draw because there's not a lot of people downtown right now.
Sure.
So our lunches can be really quiet. They've done a lot with Larimer Square, which has been amazing.
Yes.
If you haven't been down there, it's really, really cool. And
I wish it stayed that way.
There's a good possibility.
Is this like Oktoberfest year round kind of?
It's amazing.
It should be,
that's exactly how it should be. People want to come down, have a glass of wine. They can, take it to go or whatever.
Yeah, bounce around.
Yeah, and it's just
we're adults.
I love it, and to see all of that stuff, there's good in that.
Yeah, it's just the margins, right? I mean, anybody in their right mind, we're getting into this business with the margins the way they are, and you must look at them just all the time. So here we are to the surcharges.
Yeah.
PPE, personal protection equipment, that's a real thing. Gloves, they're expensive.
Sure.
There's certain things that you're buying. There are costs that are going up, not less, more. First question, did you ever think, do you believe that in order for you to continue surviving, you'll need government intervention?
I think that something has to change in our business. We can't support, we pay over minimum wage as it is. But there's a lot of things that need to change. I mean, we need to change the inequality between the front of the house and the back of the house.
Completely.
I mean, that's been going on forever.
Yes, and not addressed.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of merge that by, again, thinking outside the box and paying everyone minimum and distributing tips. The tax situation, the property taxes that are passed along to the tenant is insane.
Yes.
I don't understand why those are our responsibilities, but of course I signed up for it. So that needs to be addressed.
Will that change as you go on?
Hope so.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look at that.
I certainly hope so. I mean, we're in not long-term leases, but we've got fairly decent leases, and we have great landlords that have worked with us, and they are a part of our process. So as we look and we forecast and we think, we're ahead of them saying, what's going to happen in November and December and January, and what are we thinking about doing, and how are we going to survive? Because they don't need an empty storefront.
Well, I'd love to be on a fly on the wall at those Larimer Group meetings, because I know that real estate group, and you're lucky because they're a true partner with you versus these other companies.
Absolutely. I feel very, very fortunate between Larimer and DUS, Denver Union Station. I mean, I think that we have really great support on that, and they do want to work with us. It's in their best interest. It's in our best. It's a win-win, which is great.
How are you on time?
I'm great on time.
Can we pause real quick, get a break in from some local sponsors here?
Sure.
And then just do the setup. Beth Gruitch here with us, Crafted Concept, Rioja, Bistro Vendome, Stoic and Genuine, Ultrea. And next segment after this next one, Rick Dyer and Michael Dyer from Bonnie Brae Tavern are going to come on. They put together a little $2 charge,
And they're getting some noise on that.
Yeah, they
$2.
get phone calls, FUs and stuff. Way different business, obviously. But that $2 for someone who goes in and orders the same thing every single day, and then all of a sudden it's $2 more, and they think to themselves, "Hey, I'm not employed, or I'm having a." Anyway, it's a big contention, but something needs to give. The levee is building up. Is it going to break, and how is it going to break? In a productive method, is it going to be built into food? Who's going to absorb it? It's interesting times, and we're watching businesses try and jockey for position as they're just scratching to go, okay, we're changing, but damn it, we need to survive. Can you help us out? People are doing some really interesting things right now. Bonanno Concepts, what's he doing, 22% or something, like a treat us all, make us happy charge?
Yeah.
Is it crazy or is it genius? I don't know. We'll talk about it next. You will hear, what sponsors do we have on?
Rome Sausage.
And
Colorado Mills and Spice Guy. We're going to get those three rolled up in
and
this.
Then we'll be back in a flash. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado, by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The modern eater loves Rome sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyc.com.
Hey guys, at Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of ourselves, a newly appointed hospitality specialist, Felina Hilliard. And we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bar set up, we've got a lot of time. Come see us, come see what we've got, and Felina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here. And as I come in here, I'm noticing, Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Show me, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful. Chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment, and maybe we'll even have a few pops.
Okay, back to Beth Gruitch here in a moment from Crafted Concepts here in Studio Kitchen, Colorado on a Wednesday, August 26th. But I want to tell you, the one thing, beer's got to taste good. It's got to taste like the way the brewer wanted it to taste.
Or you're wasting your money.
You are. There's a lot. And pennies. You got to count your pennies. Sometimes fixing something is going to save you money in the long run. Yeah. If you have draft systems that need to be fixed, Jeff Rourke. If you have a new install that you want to do, God bless you, Jeff Rourke. If you want to add a line, water, wine, nitro, coffee, you name it, Jeff Rourke can do that. Your glycol system needs to be tweaked? No problem. Jeff Rourke will come do that.
What about a clean and flush?
Sure. Sounds good. He might be able to do that too. Guys, if you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Yeah, just don't do that. Don't pour your money down the drain. Get a hold of the man. 20 years in the business, family owned and operated. That's what we like to do. Don't do that money squandering. Or wandering.
Wandering, yeah.
Don't wander it around.
Don't squander your money either.
Yeah.
Use Jeff Rourke.
720-272-3809. His phone number again.
One,
Brian.
please, for me.
720-272-3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Okay, thanks. Back to the show, Beth. I'm just really having a good time talking about, what do we all do from here? Because it really is a community effort. It's an individual effort. It's everybody really showing up for the day. I've been telling everybody here at the Modern Eater, and God knows it's tough to lead by example sometimes, right? But the two rocks that we need every single day is a great attitude and ferocity. Let's just go after it, and let's get it, and let's try and treat each other as good as we possibly can. Surcharges, margins, crunching the numbers, front of the house gal. You probably have your nose in books all the time.
Yeah. I'd like for them to look better all the time.
So what are you looking for? You juggling? You're seeing these new expenses in this ledger over here. You go, wow, that's interesting. That's what I think Sonia Riggs from Colorado Restaurant Associates said about $4,500. Is that a month? Because if that's a month, that's crazy.
For
just
PPE
and
everything. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
have you added it up?
No.
No? Are you afraid to?
I think that there's a little bit of denial, of course.
Yeah.
We look at our numbers, all the time to see where we can find a few pennies.
Yeah.
I guess what I'd really want for the consumer to look at is if you haven't noticed your grocery bills going up, you probably should really take a look at that, because it's not just our food costs going up. The in-home stuff is going up. They were saying the other day how much meat has gone up over, this year versus last year. And eggs and, whatever quality you buy, if you buy organic and all of those sort of things. But everything is going up. So we all have to share in that cost, whether it's in a surcharge and it's more noticeable because it's a flat $2 or whatever it is. It has to be passed along. We as restaurateurs have really kind of gotten to a point where we can't absorb it very much anymore, to be honest with you. With for when you really think about the 5% profitability, and what that looks like on a dollar, it's nothing. After we get through paying all the bills, and not to mention just we have to have the revenue there, and we have to watch our costs. So it has to be shared someplace. And you're a fool if you don't think that you're being charged for it. In all honesty, it's either going to be in the food prices, the liquor prices, the wine prices, wherever it is. It may be as transparent as a $2 charge on every check. But it's going to be there in order for us to survive and to pay our rent and to still be there next year. And I think that as the consumer, we have to just kind of take a look at that. Everything has gone up, and it's gone up drastically this year. So are some restaurants trying to make up for perhaps not being open for 3 months? I don't know what their decisions are. We chose to be open and to get some income coming in. But each restaurant as an individual is making those decisions. And I would be hard-pressed to find a restaurant out there that isn't adding something somewhere.
I mean, and well said, right? Everyone's just different. It's like treating a child. Each one's going to need different nuances. Totally get that. So when you dig in and you look at it from a restaurateur perspective, what do you wait for? Why are you waiting? I mean, when people were on turbo unemployment and restaurants were suffering mightily, I thought it should have happened then and swiftly. Right. It's like while people had money before the hyperinflation kicks in. And you have to do the $30 hamburgers and the $25 martinis and figure, well, they have the money now, but then we figure out where the water settles. You can't give it all away, right?
Nope.
And so my fear is some of the greatest chefs come into the business with great intentions, with great products, with great sourcing, to where now let me just order my meat and my toilet paper all at once. Bring the truck in, drop it all off. Quality doesn't matter where it comes from. I'm going to be just strictly a numbers person and make those margins, and that's the business. Is that what the future of this business is going to be like in your estimation?
It's very short-sighted. It's very short term because the consumer won't come back. I mean, they're not going to – they may pay for a $30 burger once. It better be a damn good burger.
Amen.
But honestly, it's not going to happen. They're going to find their places where they can still get a great burger. And I think that's where a lot of restauranteurs are going to lose out.
Yeah. Here's what's up with restaurants. So a lot of times it's the neighborhood that embraces them. If you're going to survive, there's very few destination restaurants where you travel. You're going to go do that. You're going to do it in your neighborhood, various reasons. You want to be close by. That trust, your family is dining with you in each one of those locations. Your family is. So any decision you make and costs have to pretty much be transparent to that. Would you agree?
100%.
Yeah. So, I'm all for raising some prices on the menu, but my fear is that'll stick forever. Which, I mean, that's okay. If somebody will buy it, market price is whatever somebody will pay for.
Well, but Greg, didn't Caroline, we had Caroline Glover on the show the other day, and what she said was, to me, was wonderful because, I pigeonholed myself in organic, and it was always more expensive.
Right.
And she made a comment saying, hey, people don't even know the real cost of their food. We haven't been getting what we really need to be getting for our food for so long. We've actually in the kitchen been subsidizing
That's
that.
where we get in the weeds, but I love it.
And what Beth said, because she just said it, people are going to have to realize. So to your point, Greg, a little bit, I hate to say that fear is going to come true because people are going to have to start paying more. But on the other side, I think we're going to get a better product. Because I think what's going to happen is to where you were going.
And better operators.
Yeah, well, what Beth just said is guess what? I'm not going to come back for that $30 hamburger unless you nailed it. Like, we're at Beast and Brews. Mm-hmm. They have a $20 burger on their menu. And when I tasted it, I was like, that's worth $20, and it was one of those things. And even Jay said that. And Jay is the kind of guy who calls out, you don't need nothing more than good, inexpensive food.
Yeah, I lived at 7-Eleven for about 6 years.
So
hopefully it was college.
Yeah. So, but I love where you're going with that because I hope, and this was in the beginning, we were having these very hard conversations.
They were.
That this is the purge. This is the time when we're going to get, and I don't mean to be insensitive
that's therein lies the rub. Therein lies the PC world that we live in, not political at all, where we begin to eat ourselves. Because of a thought process, of I'm guilty because I'm a good owner-operator, and this person may not, but they should have the same, and it's tough because you see owner-operator, it's like, man, you want to know why you're failing? You better just go take a good look inside, and you're not willing to change, you're not willing to adapt, you're not, and we have to feel bad for you, and in fact, the funding for that operator and you from a government level, no difference.
No difference.
At all.
I find it really fascinating because it truly is people that really understand running a restaurant. Before, when money was flowing in, there was a lot of room for errors. And you can walk into their walk-in and see it, Lots of, not utilization and things like that happen with that. We're really going to have to narrow it down. And the chefs that know what they're doing, because that's the majority of where it's at, majority of the food cost, and the food sales that come into play, and same thing with cocktails too, they're going to really need to know what they're doing, and they're going to have to make it work, and that means every single penny has got to be looked at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, some of the most devastating, darkest fires, as we're experiencing now, bring about the most beautiful, fertile soil that grows delicious, organic produce, anything, life, the circle of life.
Well, don't let COVID be your alibi.
So here's a tough question. Should you feel guilty of being successful or opportunity or finding opportunity or flexing that entrepreneurial spirit right now?
No.
No.
Not at all. We're working for it.
Yeah. Good for you.
We are not sitting at home, hanging out, counting dollar bills or even pennies coming in. We are all working, very hard to make it happen. We're doing videos. We're, constantly thinking outside the box. We will not rest on our laurels or a reputation that we had because that's yesterday. And it's what we're doing today. And it's about, what we're planning for tomorrow to make it all happen. So, no, absolutely not. There are people that are going to win and there's people that are going to lose. This is not everybody gets, a prize.
Yeah.
It's not what it's about.
It's not field day.
No, not field day.
But it could be a great opportunity that people, I mean, I see great chefs, like just to what you said right there, Beth, this is an opportunity that great chef that was stuck and but has the capability of greatness.
Right.
But they were just not realizing in the restaurant industry, I'm a firm believer.
They're forecasting, though, that with some of this attrition, Brian, that the entrepreneurs will be too tentative, too gun-shy to take advantage of some of those situations. I don't know if that's true or not. The interesting thing is there will be opportunity. Here's a question for you. Do you think that many people will be first in at a location right now to do brand new build-outs and things like that, or just work with?
You know what? I think that people that have their deal going are still continuing to go. And they're going to plan on opening just as if it hadn't happened. Maybe some changes, of course, in that aspect. And then it surprises me every day how fast some of the spaces are filling. It really does surprise me. I don't know if I would be so like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to open right now. I don't know about that.
It's that $2 trillion that got out there.
Yeah, it's.
You remember the sky? I mean, we had a beautiful view of downtown. The skyline was just.
Yeah. Well, we talk about it. Cranes
after
Cranes is the true judge of what kind of business I think the city's doing in real estate.
It's going to all kind of find its way. I'd love to continue I find it fascinating. I read a couple great articles, one in the Denver Business Journal today, actually, that cited you with a couple of things. I really, like Brian, admire what you guys are doing. And now I want to turn to the fun stuff, the creativity. The wine series for Rioja, I know we mentioned it, but I also want to be very clear on how to do that. Jay, there's a link on my computer that's already up. Throw that in the stream because I'd like for folks to check this out. It's on the Talk platform. Talk about that just for a couple minutes, if you would. Yeah.
Basically call the restaurant, make reservations to dine in, and then basically you go onto the Talk website, the Explore Talk. That way you can pay for your dinner. It's all taken care of. The night of, if you want to buy additional wines, you can, of the wines you enjoyed, which is super fun to do as well. Sign up for all of them. They're all going to be totally different.
So cool.
We have the arduous job of sitting down and tasting the wines that we want to serve.
Poor thing.
And then Jen has to come up with these miraculous ideas. And then we have to test them. I mean, that's probably the worst part about the whole thing, right, is having to test the food with the wine and make it all work.
And you said you guys all kind of had a little different tastes as well.
Super fun. Yeah, we all kind of pull things out. And then, like I said, Jen kind of works her magic with the food, and we have some fun, and so it's a great time. So join us in the restaurant. They start at 6:30 and one a month. Check out the schedule. It's great. We're going to travel all through Spain. We're even going to hit a little sherry, which is one of my favorites. And then just get signed up for them. It'll be super fun.
September 16th is the next one. Barcelona and Mediterranean is what you're covering. Small producers as well. That's important.
Super fun. I love supporting that. Just some of these small producers are counting on us. They really are. They export very few pallets, very few cases, and we're lucky enough to get them in Colorado, which I think is always a blessing. But we need to support these guys.
Yeah,
gosh, and you have great crew. I'll tell you, so many of the people that have been the Faustos of the world that are in your kitchen. I mean, and Eric, your baker. I mean, and even Dana.
Yep.
I mean, Loca was someone that came out of a few of your kitchens.
Absolutely.
You all have done such a great job at attracting such incredible talent, holding a standard. Listen, I can speak for Rioja all day long. When I send someone into downtown, I say it's one of the places.
It is.
Just you want a consistent meal, I will tell you the
or
arugula.
A good date night that you might, hey, Jay, you ever get a date, Rioja?
Well, thank you. We have people that have worked with us for years, and it's an honor because I learn every day from them, as well as it's a great relationship, and we work with people we like.
Yeah.
And that's really, really important.
That's great.
I was going to say, whoa, Beth, you laughed a little too hard at that joke so fast. Give it a second.
I bet she's seen a lot of dates. Can you tell when someone's on a blind date? Or a match date?
Yeah, and there's been a few. I think that if they're taking them, particularly to Rioja, I hope that the person's going to show up for the dinner and stay. Yeah. That would be nice too. There's been a few where people have just kind of left mid-dinner, so that happens. Yeah,
it's the
not having
great
a good time.
wine selection.
I'll tell you that you all do. Rioja is one of those places. It is a standard.
It is.
It is. Exactly when you go there,
food.
you will get the exact thing that you ordered.
And it's hard to build brands like that. All right, tell us the secret.
Oh, the secret?
Yeah.
Wow, gosh.
Or any good secret.
Something
up? You can go juicy on us.
Tell us the secret. What's coming up? Anything?
It's truly loving what you do. It really is. It's about the people. It's about the guests. It's about the staff. I love going in, and whether it's at Stoic or Oltré or wherever it is, going in and seeing Fausto, and just we've worked together for such a long amount of time. It's pretty cool, and it's family. It truly is family, and when things happen and family leaves or that sort of thing, it definitely affects us. But we also gain new family members, and we have a lot of family members like in Denver. So the Locas of the world, and one of my dearest friends, and people that have gone on to do other things. Another dear friend who's doing food photography and fun stuff. So it's a great business to have a good time in, and to really put out great product.
All right, before we leave you, just a quick speed round to get to know Beth a little bit better. We'll go quick, but you got it just off the top of your head. Don't
Woman-owned business, you're
rocking
Hold
on.
Done. Drop the mic.
Spain or France?
Oh, Spain.
Just a this or that?
Mexican or French?
Oh, Mexican.
Peanut butter cup or Butterfinger?
Oh, peanut butter cup.
Really? Beach or mountains?
Oof. Oh, that's tough.
Is it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I grew up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Grew up in the mountains.
So beach.
So I do love it. I love hiking and I love skiing and all that stuff. But we have a place in Mexico, so that's really hard because I love the beach as well.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah, I go back and forth. I had a cup of coffee today. I haven't had coffee in a while, but the other day I had tea. So.
Jay?
Love it.
Nike or Reebok? I don't know.
Okay, we
I bet you don't know neither one of those. Yeah. All right, last one for you. Chef or bartender?
Probably chef.
Chef.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back of the house.
Yeah.
Front of the house.
I'll tell you this much, man. Internet dates, however
Have
they
you ever
are.
been on one?
No, I've never been on one, but I'll tell you what, they're really fun to have in the restaurant or at the bar. And they're pretty easy to point out, when you see them. For the most part, some of them you never know, depending on how comfortable the couple is together. But when some of them, you don't even have to hear them talk. You turn the corner and you go, Tinder.
You remember when we were downtown for our entrepreneurial classes that we were taking? Mm-hmm. And I went into the restaurant down there. What was that place? It's really cool.
Oh gosh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
So there was a date. She comes up to me and goes, "Oh, John," or whatever. And I go, "Yeah." Sit down with her for a minute.
Oh my God.
And then he comes walking in. I go, "Oh, there he is." And he was handsome. I was like, "Hey, thank you for the compliment. That's a handsome guy."
Hilarious.
Yeah. I thought, hey, maybe
I just will always say I'm too old for that shit.
Let's just get one drink and get out of here, lady. Take a date. It was a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Very
you so
cool.
much.
Yeah,
really had a good time. Thank you.
Catch up again soon. Beth Gruitch here, Crafted Concepts. And just if you want to look to, motivation, how are you feeling? How should you feel right now, folks that are watching the show? I think you appreciated that interview as much as I did. Rick Dyer and Michael Dyer coming up next via Zoom. Bonnie Brae Tavern. We're going to talk about surcharges with them as well. We'll continue on and looking forward to Mike Brenner from Zepp's Epic Sandwiches. I love his sandwiches. We had a couple the other day. We'll give him a shout out. Bring him in here and see if we can't support him a little bit. Okay, we'll break away. We'll come right back. Who are we going to have some words from?
We're going to have some words from
Elevation,
Hot
Schedule,
and
Ardent Mills.
And we'll talk bread.
Yeah, let's do a live Aspen Bacon commercial, man.
All right, thanks. We'll be right back. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hi, guys. It's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Ford is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands, because nobody likes handling taxes. That's Rebecca.Berry@Forth.com, Rebecca.Berry@Forth.com. And hey, it's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey, Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Yeah, there we go. It's their summer dinner series. I'm a farmer. What's up, everybody? This is Kaibab Savage, co-founder of Savage Spectrum Winery, home of Sparklet, Palisade's newest premier sparkling wine producer, coming to you live from our vineyard. You can see this beautiful vineyard behind us. We're so happy to pair up with the Modern Eaters for the Summer Dinner Series. Check them out online, summerdinnerseries.com, to get your tickets. You could come hang out with us. You can try our latest releases of our Sparklets. It's the perfect aperitif to prepare with these amazing creations the chefs are going to bring you. Can't wait to see you guys, hang out with you guys, tell you about our story, get to know you better. Hope to see you there.
Man, that was.
I just had to get hyped up. I just had to get, feeling good.
All right, back to the show in just a second, you guys. But before we do that, you know what time it is. It's my favorite time of the world and universe. It's bread time. Fresh bread baked every single day at aspenbaking.com. Aspenbaking.com is where you go to get you can get croissants, you can get bear claws, you can get lobster rolls, you can get the batards, you can get the big sourdough bowls. I already went over that last time. I'll spare you, but you grill it, you eat it. It's delicious. Box lunches, catering.
Wait, you said box lunches, right?
I did say
Rebecca Berry, box lunches at Aspen Baking.
Rebecca Berry loves box lunches.
No, she's looking for things for her clients to have lunch.
Oh.
Rebecca Berry, I told her today, Aspen Baking.
At aspenbaking.com. There we go. What was the last thing I wanted to say about it?
You wanted to say batards? You wanted to say everything?
Hashtag how's your Aspen, but seriously, if you're a bread lover like I am, because I am, I don't need cheese, I don't need meat, I don't need love, I don't need support, I need bread. You go to aspenbaking.com.
That should be a tagline.
Yeah, but I want to give him a little love with the bread,
Welcome back to the show. We're standing by for Rick Dyer and Michael Dyer from Bonnie Brae Tavern. That was a great conversation with Beth Gruitch from Crafted Concepts. And you can tell. Can you smell people that are very inspirational?
Well, a business, it's that business-minded person.
It's that successful smell.
Yep.
And no matter what's going to be thrown at them, they're going to be successful.
Yeah.
Standing by for Ricky D. I like that it says Ricky D on his thing. Can we hear Ricky D?
No, man, I don't know what's going on over there.
They're probably trying to pop back in now. Last night, what a night, right? Tomorrow we'll show some photos. We'll get up a photo gallery on themoderneater.com. What's wrong?
Oh, God. No, I just need to get you your computer. I just have all
No, you don't. You're
Hey-o.
fine. You're fine.
Hey-o.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah, Justin had a great dinner.
He did.
This is an exciting, restaurant's been around, for 85 years, Bonnie Brae Tavern. Down right on University, same spot, 85 years.
There's Michael.
Now we're getting some action
cooking.
here.
Now we're cooking.
Hey, there you are, fellas. Oh, can you turn the volume? We're getting some feedback on your end from
got it.
A device.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. And you had it right, too, with turning the phone sideways. It'll open up that panoramic view. There you go.
Yeah, turn off that other phone, guys. Or Jay, you mute it.
I mean, I can't mute that. I can mute them. I can't mute it. I can't get
Do you guys have another phone on?
I'll just sign out.
Yeah. Well, whoever I'm looking at, that's the phone we want right there. That's you. I want you with that phone. The other one you can disconnect.
And we did all this ahead of time?
Well technically, no. We didn't, but they weren't where they were going to be at the time when the show starts.
Great. This is all about showing people how to do it, how to get it done.
I just turned that other phone off, guys.
Do you hear that beautiful silence?
No,
almost.
All right, we're trying to get this set up right.
Okay. We're here. Bonnie Brae Tavern. Rick Dyer, Michael Dyer joining us. Just go ahead and mute them for a second. Yeah.
Family business.
August 26th, it's a Wednesday. Mike Brenner's going to bring us some lunch from Zepp's Epic Subs. And if you've lived in Denver for any period of time, you've been to Bonnie Brae Tavern.
Just once, at least.
At least, yeah. Bonnie Brae Tavern, these guys are going to join us now. It's Ricky D and Mikey D.
Good, how are you?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you. Oh, that's so much better. That's fantastic. Now just getting both of you. We'll get half of each one of you, which is perfect. It'll be a full
probably
one.
Better that way.
Guys, talk about yourself for a minute. And this is a foundation of Denver, Colorado, Bonnie Brae Tavern. Could you talk about yourself and your business for a minute, and then we'll get going?
Jeez. Okay, well, we've been here over 86 years. Our grandmother and grandfather started the place.
That's a pretty good start.
Pardon?
I said that's a pretty good start. 86 years, nothing to sneeze at there. What do you figure? What do you figure for Bonnie Brae Tavern has made Bonnie Brae Tavern last for 86 years? What's the secret sauce and ingredients in your estimation?
Just we try to put out a good product. Our pizzas are specialty. Neighborhood restaurants. Word of mouth. The people just like us, and we try to just keep the family tradition going. Same recipes and good staff.
Well, and you guys, though, you're doing something right, because I'll tell you, I've lived in Wash Park myself. I lived there for 20 years, and I would come down there all the time. And between you guys and the ice cream place, that's the only consistent.
That's all you needed in your life?
There was a saucy noodle over there, but I don't even know if that's even there anymore.
Yeah.
What these guys have done.
They're still around. They've been around 50 years.
Yeah, so I didn't know if they still had made it, because Campus Lounge has changed owners.
Yeah, they're on their, third or fourth. But they're doing good now.
Yeah, and the new reset. But you guys have done really, really well, and congratulations, because, I mean, listen, I'll tell you, we're talking today about the fact that someone's complaining about $2, but guess what? At least they're complaining, and at least they're talking, because, listen, if somebody didn't like you, they'd just walk away. But the problem is they like you so much, they want you to resend the $2, which I think we could have a good conversation about.
Yeah, let's set up from the beginning, you guys.
Never thought of it that way.
That is a good perspective. Okay, guys, so as we're talking to, and I don't know if you've caught any of the interviews with, like, Troy Gard and other folks that are instituting different surcharges, and we're going to call this one just a COVID charge, right? You guys decided to do a $2 charge, and from what I understood, you did it kind of off of the recommendation of the Colorado Restaurant Association and some literature that they may have put out. First of all, talk about the decision-making process, the $2 charge, and really we were trying to do the numbers the other day and guess how many covers you did in a day. We settled at 200 right now, which is probably short. 200, and then we took $2 times 200, and we were like, okay, well, it's that $400.
Barely putting a dent in all the extra expenses you might have.
So, did we get anywhere close to covers? 200 a day?
No.
No?
We don't do that many.
Oh, you don't? Oh. Okay.
No, well, we used to. Yeah, we don't anymore. Our business is down 40 to 60% currently. I mean, we do better on the weekends, but Tuesday through Thursdays, it's just we're barely making ends meet.
So PPE, which is personal protection equipment, which everybody in a restaurant needs now. Gloves are expensive, sanitation, masks. You go on down the line what they are. Do you guys have a line item for these, and have you added up what the monthly costs for this is? Because most people
we currently haven't, but that shouldn't take long to figure out. I mean, we're spending the gloves alone. We're going through 3 to 4 cases a week, and they're about $107 a case, which is about 10 to a case, 10 or 12. 10 boxes of 500 or something. Yeah, something like that. So I mean, we're just blowing through those. And it's funny because if you go around town and go out to eat, and I have tried to. It's funny. It's like the people haven't got the same memo that we got about paper menus and not reusing things and people wearing gloves and stuff like that. You go to and not using your bar area. If there's drinks being made there, you're not allowed to do that, blah, blah, blah. You go out and to the World in Denver, and these wait staff does not have gloves on. I went to a place in Lakewood that I frequent, and they were using their same menus, and nobody was wiping them off with some bleach water afterwards. I don't get it.
Interesting.
That's got to be so frustrating, right, Greg, for a restaurant owner?
Well, people are either doing it real well or not well at all and just don't care. And then there is a middle ground, I suppose. But as we kind of dig in with you guys, what caught our eye was I think it was a CBS 4 news piece of a gentleman in particular. I think his name was Dave. If it was
Dave Hurley or Dan Hurley or
boy,
something
I think
like
that's
that.
real close.
Dan Hurley,
yeah, Dan Hurley. So Dan says, I'm unemployed. He probably goes there quite often because he's one of those guys
forced into retirement.
His $14 bill turned into $16, and he noticed it because he orders the same damn. That's who I would guess this guy is. Yeah. And these are the guys that actually you don't mind. These are your P1 customers. These are the guys that came in all the time. But then he turns around and says, this $2 charge. That's insane. But let's talk about the $2 charge and if it's even accomplishing anything other than just being an annoyance to some people that are you could tell them it's a 50-cent charge and they still wouldn't like it, right?
Yeah. Well, I have issue because I think it's anything that a restaurant is doing right now. What a restaurant is doing is saying, I want to stay in business.
Yeah.
I want to be here for you next month.
So when we talk about a COVID charge, you could lump a lot of stuff into there, guys. You could lump the lack of seating that you have in-house. You could lump in the expenses that you have for any additional seating outside or variants that you have, any tables, cleaning. So you could do it all. You're merely asking for two buckers, right? Why $2, and then why not think about food and selling your food, passing that on to the end consumer at the end of the day? Why did you start with the $2? Other than probably it's just there, it's in your face, it's up front, and it is what it is. We'll just go from there, guys.
And it's not that much, folks, but
yeah, it wasn't even $2 a head. It was just $2 a ticket. And it's for any order over $10. If someone gets a soda to go or something, we're not going to charge them $2 extra. And what's funny is our staff, I would say only about 80% of the time, maybe less, is even charging it. They get busy and they forget. The reason why we did it that way, in fact, we ended up changing it to a PPE surcharge because we felt that COVID was causing the uproar because it's such a political thing right now. We weren't trying to make it a political statement, for God's sake. We were just trying to help us with some costs. Exactly. But we found it easier to just be upfront with the $2 charge instead of changing prices. We would have at least 4 formats we'd have to change prices on. Not only our menus, the website, delivery services. Mm-hmm. It was just easier to do it this way.
Mm-hmm. Now, so I was reading guys like Frank Bonanno, and he came up with like a keep us happy charge or something like that. 22%. 22%.
Wow.
Why not go big? Why not put it out there to the community to say, hey, you want to keep us happy? Like, this is what will make us happy.
Well, we heard there was a restaurant in Cherry Creek that was doing like a 4% or something of your bill charge for essentially the same thing.
Now, it doesn't have to be mandatory. And again, a lot of what we do on this show is just brainstorm live, right? What's working, what's not. We ask restaurateurs and operators everywhere really what they're doing, and we find it pretty interesting. The $2 charge you've since changed the nomenclature. The lexicon needed to change from COVID charge to PPP surcharge. Is that working, guys? It might.
I don't know, to be honest with you, but it just I just think COVID has such a strong I don't know, finding the words I'm looking for, but I mean we've got some horrible reviews on Google and on Facebook just because of the COVID part. People think we're gouging them for $2 and we're lining our pockets. It's been upsetting.
Guys, I got a question. What would it look like if you put together a little template or a little diagram to show people the price of your pizza for the last 85 years, the price of wheat, the price of gas, the price that we now pay for
Brian,
water?
that might be brilliant. Very smart.
I mean, to show these customers, to show like.
Do you know what your pizza cost 80 years ago?
We didn't have it 80, but but in the 50s it started. But still, it didn't cost what it does now. That's for sure.
That's interesting.
The one thing I tried to post on Facebook when this all came about was exactly. I didn't put pricing down, but what exactly extra things we've had to do since the regs, we have to abide by.
So if somebody says,
we got a few bad comments on that, just mostly one person, but
I don't know why they don't.
For the most part, our Facebook people were very supportive, and they didn't think that was such a big deal.
So this is Rick Dyer and Michael Dyer, Bonnie Brae Tavern, and just talking about the blowback that they've gotten from a surcharge of just a mere $2. This sandwich is so good. As we continue on with you guys, it doesn't seem like that's going to move the needle for you. If somebody comes to you and says, I don't want to pay the $2, do you take it off?
It actually hasn't come up yet. So. Yeah, we haven't yet.
Well, why wouldn't somebody, instead of leaving you a terrible review or something, why wouldn't they just say,
be an adult, step up to the plate?
Can I contact you and would you give me the $2 back? Because you would, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Right? I mean, we're here to stay in business for a while longer, for God's sake. So why would we do something that be that upsetting?
So you have this platform here, guys, as we spend the next couple of minutes with you. I want to just give you this platform to be able to talk to not only Denverites, but owner-operators and other people within the business of food service. I want to give you the opportunity to talk about how you guys are and how you feel and some things that are important to you right now. I'll hand the floor over to you.
Okay. Just generalization, or what do you think?
I thought that I overheard a conversation. Jay was like, "Are you up for coming on the show?" And you said, "Yeah." And I got a lot of other stuff I want to talk about and get off my chest. So I thought this would be a good opportunity for you to do that.
You want me to talk? This is Jay. I can talk about how horrible people are, and then you guys you don't have to do it as the business owners. I can do it as a 30-year veteran of the business.
To be honest with you, I was a little apprehensive to come on just because of the blowback we've gotten, but.
But I think this is
you guys. I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah, guys, this is a platform where you get to tell your side of this, and this is not. We want to just ask questions because we think what you're doing is important, and everyone needs to look at. We're all going to have to change.
Yeah,
there's not anyone.
And guys, it's really that wasn't a trick question, and I'm not trying to get a sound clip because this long form type of interview is really what I think that you deserve to be able to put in front of your clientele. But truly, if it's one of these things to where we've been around for 86 years, we want to be around for 86 more. It's just basically talking to talk to the folks out there and telling them, here's where we're at right now, guys, and we need you to be patient. We love you. We're doing these things, and just the opportunity to have the floor and talk to people for a minute. Talk to your customers.
Well, I'll just go back to that whole Channel 31 interview. I agreed to the interview because I felt our side needed to be told, and I was unaware that it was going to turn into such a brouhaha. I am a little disappointed that we haven't gotten any feedback or support from other establishments or even the Restaurant Association or some sort of clarification, something that we have not gotten any word from anybody. I mean, we've got no support. We've just kind of been hung out to dry by it all.
It's true. And and we love our customers. We wouldn't do anything to literally irritate them. We're just a little mom and pop trying to stay in business. and biz is down. There's all kinds of restaurants in town that are trying to lure you in just like we are, and we've got a good product. We want you to come by, but it's costing us a lot more money, and we got staff. We have overhead too. Yes, maybe after Labor Day, maybe I will just end up sitting down for 4 or 5 hours and changing all the formats and adding a few cents to each thing to include the price. But it is what it is right now.
Yeah, and I think, I think that what you just said that right there was very important, and that was very well said. Very well said, you guys. And you are just a mom and pop trying to get by like the rest of them. And truly, as we reopen our main streets and we look around at the attrition, I don't want Bonnie Brae Tavern to be a victim of that. So community leaders, folks, reach out, give support to these guys. Let them know that you're in the same boat as well. And we're all, at the end of the day, just trying to do the same thing and keep our businesses alive. And for that, we commend you guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet. Any updates? Bring it our way. I encourage you guys to tune into the Modern Eater Show daily at 2 p.m. And if you can't, to catch the replay, because you won't feel so alone. There are other restaurateurs and owner-operators that come on the show that express their frustrations as well. They brainstorm with us. They brainstorm with others. And we like to be that spot to where maybe you can bounce some ideas off of, and we'd love to help you any chance we can get, because that's what community is all about. Cheers to you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Right on, guys.
There it
Cheers.
is. Bonnie Brae Tavern. Go support them. Go eat there. And you know what? Take that $2 PPP charge and turn it into 20 or 40 or 200. Support your local businesses. Yeah. Why not? Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
We'll be down there to support you soon. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to break off. Here it is. We're going to actually do this. This is very seldom that I've ever eaten on the air.
Actually, that's true. I know.
I'm going to eat on the air.
I eat
because we have this. I'm not going to wrap this back. We're all going to eat. We're going to break bread. And we're going to catch up with our friend Mike Brenner, Zepp's Epic Sandwiches, and boy, they are epic. I was in there Saturday, I think. Got Jay and I lunch, which thank you, by the way, for.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. That's,
he was waiting for me to break. Sorry.
That's
I'm just thanking him.
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
Wait, now do it.
I was just saying I hope you guys enjoyed.
I didn't get anything. You say he brought me
lunch?
You
liar. What's interesting is when I went in there, you don't know what to expect. What I saw was great sourcing of great products, a motivated staff that took their jobs very seriously, an environment that was conducive to wanting to eat delicious food, and fresh crafted sandwiches and salads. That just that's the name of my game.
And local beverages,
I know, that's
folks.
what I'm saying.
This is where you're stepping it up when you're supporting
The
your local.
Titula, is that how it's called?
Titulia.
Yep.
Man, I like that brand.
Yeah.
I really do. You got all kinds of good stuff there. It's a great place. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have lunch together when we come back, if you don't mind. Are you in a rush?
Not really, no.
Okay, the Modern Eater Show will continue.
Yeah, right on.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new Abbey 4-pack, featuring the 4 main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So there's the single, the double, the triple, and the quadruple. And let's talk about singles today. Singles or ankles are traditionally Monk's beers served at meal times and during the day. They're low in alcohol, 3 to 5.5%, and they're often second runnings from stronger beers like triples or quadruples. This one is 3.8% ABV, and it's made from the second runnings from our triple. So what they're known for is lightness and drinkability, their biscuity flavor with distinct hoppiness, and they're very refreshing. Great summer beers. Available at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the metro area. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack today and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope and Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com, and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.
Hey, welcome back to a Wednesday, August 26th, as the Modern Eater Show continues. Alongside of Jay Parker and Brian Freeman, I'm Greg Hollenbeck. Joining us in studio, Mike Brenner and Zepp's Epic Sandwiches. Zepp's Epic Sandwiches, man, I love them. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. Zepp's is at 12th and Broadway. Mm-hmm. We are, sandwich people, Coloradans, and try to keep everything as local as possible. Get fresh bread every morning. You might recognize the gluten-free bread from Mr. Johnny Irwin. But we are doing house-roasted turkeys, so our turkey sandwiches are pretty outstanding. We make all our sauces and dressings from scratch. Just try to do it better than your $5 foot-long deals,
Where did Zepp's Epic come from, though? Where's that?
Well, so I'll try to be quick about this.
You got all the time in the world.
I was a Quiznos corporate employee for 10 non-consecutive years, from 2013 to 2013 to 2016. I was doing international operations for them. They asked me to get Zepp's Epic Sandwiches off the ground to fill a space in the market, where everybody's doing like the cheap filler sandwiches, just throw some food in your belly. But we wanted to do something that was better than what you would find on any street corner and whatnot. So that was the idea. I opened it on behalf of Quiznos at the very end of 2016. 2018.
This was a test store.
Yes.
In Denver.
Quiznos. I mean,
how many stores does Quiznos have?
I don't know their store count off the top of my head.
But that was a Colorado company, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so Zepp's is it was a collaboration of a lot of really enthusiastic sandwich people.
Yeah.
And,
not to distract, but do you remember the marketing campaign with the rat that Quiznos had?
Oh, yes.
You remember
they
that?
Have the pepper bar.
I don't think that helped them out much. With
blast
that
out of the past.
But people are still talking about that ad years later.
That's
though,
probably
right?
true. So back on track. So here it is. Zepp's is born.
Yeah. So and then in 2018, Quiznos Corporate was sold, and the buyers didn't want anything to do with this one Zepp's Epic Sandwich shop. The sellers didn't want to do anything, so the CEO at the time gave me a call and said, Mike, you put a lot of time and energy into this. This is what's going on. Would you be interested in buying Zepp's? So I worked out a deal, and then I partnered up with Richard Eisenberg, who's a guy I've known for years from my international operations days, and he's got a proven track record of, executing exactly what my vision is, from going from like one store to 2 to 5 to hopefully hundreds at some point. And we were on track to open up our second one, and then crazy COVID crap broke out, and that kind of fell through. Obviously, everybody had to hunker down and kind of make a plan to, just kind of muck through and do what you can every day. And, here we are, 6 months later into this.
It's March 231st right now.
Yeah, it seems to be.
So, Mike, in Zepp's Epic Sandwiches, really just truly born to scale, right? I mean, blessing, cool.
Yeah.
But so you should have all your numbers down and margins and the whole 9 yards, because I'm assuming you probably did pre-COVID.
Yep.
Figured it out. Okay, here's what's going to take. Here's how we second location.
But
build
Greg,
from
isn't
there.
it weird though for him? Think of this: he built this thing. Yeah. Like he built it, but he wasn't the entrepreneur behind it. He was hired to build it.
Well,
and then it's all of a sudden
herein lies the rub.
His baby.
Let's dig in.
And then it's like, you want to buy your baby back?
Yeah.
You want your baby? I'll sell it to you.
Yeah, 2018 was a very interesting year for me. My wife was pregnant with our first child, and if I didn't work something out and get this deal put together, I was going to be unemployed. So I had to do it. It was the terrible thing about COVID for me. I know it's been horrible on so many other people, but having to tear down what I worked so hard to build and now have to try to rebuild it to what it was and make it even better, than it was before. It's a tough thing to get your head around,
Well, this is where the community rallies around.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Mike and I said, Mike, let's just talk a little bit, okay? How are you? What are you up to? And he's very open. You're very open, and why not? Why shouldn't you be? Business is business. Last year number comparisons to this year. Where are you at?
Well, last year, 2019, proud to say I hit the $1 million mark in net sales. And from the first day of Zepp's, started out slowly with no fanfare, great sales growth, catering program really took off, started getting a lot of traction. Yeah, January, February, we're rocking and rolling. I was thinking 1.3, 1.4, to be honest with you. Now, it's going to be maybe 750, 800,000.
Okay.
At this current rate, which is, like anybody, trying to figure out, get creative, how do I find sales opportunities to make up for the ones that are gone.
Is that just with your one store, the 750?
Yep.
But still, I'd say congratulations, man.
Well, thank you.
But you're kicking it. To be down big picture, right? I think you're really only down 25%.
Right, exactly. And
in big picture. We're talking to people, I'll tell you, Mike, every day that are telling us we're down 60.
But we're also talking to people that are saying we're up 25%.
Yeah.
Or 125%.
True, yeah.
So therein lies in the middle, and I don't want you to go anywhere. In fact, I want you to continue to grow. So from there I said, I don't know, man. Maybe there's an opportunity to where Zepp's Epic Sandwiches could be maybe a project of the Modern Eater. We just see as we pivot.
I'd love it.
And here's
you
why
keep
I like
showing
it.
up like this, Mike. I'll give you a space at my house.
We do work for food, but it's beyond that. And this is for us to be helpful. And what I want to do is just go through a couple of things on how the business is pivoting. Because let's face it, you were kind of built for this. Let's open it. Here's the capacity in our dine-in. Here's what we can do for catering. Here's all the traditional things. Here's what our neighborhood is. Here's how we blanket this area. And you were seemingly very successful with that model. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to dig in and find out what works. We have the luxury of talking to a lot of people just to see what's working, what's not.
Yep.
Right? the end of the day, there's a couple of common themes here, and maybe we can just dig into these, because if we can find these common themes for other, maybe we can help people. But by the example of Zep's Epic Sandwiches, and we want to see you grow. That's the number one main mission of this. One of the common themes is, how are you connecting with your already trusted customer right now? Somebody that loves you, they know you, they eat your sandwiches, and they're just looking for another excuse to come back and do business with you. How are you keeping connected?
I should be more active on social media.
Okay.
But I'm using social media through COVID. One of the first things idea was like, how do I get through what was supposed to be an 8-week period, right? So I started a GoFundMe page, raised like almost $6,000, and I took that money and I fed police, firemen, healthcare providers at all the local hospitals, paramedics, and it was a way to kind of limp through because everybody was locked up at home. And
so your natural instincts kicked into where it's like, okay, I'm going to need to help other people, which is so interesting in service industry. That's the first thing. People in the business.
Well, it's the servitude,
they just
right?
it's like, forget about me. I need to help other people, right?
And and that idea, I've got to give my oldest sister credit for, because she's a physician back in Michigan where I grew up. And she called me up and said, I had some money set aside for a trip. We were all going to meet our family up in Wyoming. That trip obviously was canceled. Kids and I were talking, let's help out Uncle Mike, and
Nice.
let me buy some sandwiches, and you go feed some healthcare providers, some people in the ER room or whatever. So that's a great idea. Talked to another buddy of mine, said the same thing, and I said, well, I gotta make this work. Maybe this is the ticket.
Food, man.
Do you do delivery?
We do delivery. Yep.
Okay,
So
yourself
through services,
in-house, or is it through service?
I do third-party delivery, and I also have in-house delivery.
So both.
So,
both ends covered. Which, listen, anybody that's any period of time watch this show, go direct as much as you can, obviously. Okay, mailing list.
I do not have one.
Got to, right?
No.
Gotta connect with
I
folks.
have.
Are you pinging people when they want your Wi-Fi or to sit down?
We do gather email addresses.
Yeah.
I've did some email blasts through that and didn't get a whole lot of response from it. So I haven't really focused on
Well,
it.
I'll tell you from marketing, don't read into that. It's keep doing it, because the reality is you're not going to know whether people are going to respond until the third to fifth time that you ping them.
Are you putting your face on the business?
I got a face for radio.
Not so much, man. Not so much. So the answer is no. Are you willing to?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you willing to do a couple of things a day that are social media-wise that will connect you to your customer, that we're finding effective, of just you talking to your customer and what that would take? It would quick training process, be very easy.
Absolutely.
How about creative ideas of really drawing people in with, and not just deals, right? Everybody wants a deal, but in ways to entice them of like, here's how, when I did that Instagram story, I don't know whether you saw that the other day when I was at Zep's, the sandwich coming out and squeezing that cheese out of that cheese steak, and it looks so damn good, just getting in front of people's faces, because a lot of this type of stuff, impulse buy. And they're going to come home and he's like, man, I have to have that sandwich, right? But it's a matter of being on the top of somebody's mind for that. Also, beating the drum. Here's another one for you. Are you utilizing anybody ingredients-wise or product producers-wise to get into their sphere of people through their marketing? Partnerships.
That is, to be honest, that's something, collaborating with, say, Titulia or even
lots of good local Colorado products.
Well, but even John Irving. John Irving should be telling everyone you're selling his bread that you should be coming. I got one for you, and I know these sound like no-brainers, right? What we're talking about, Mike. But sometimes I think it's just for CEOs to be able to, at the table, to hear these kinds of things like popcorn and see it coming. What about, do you know what your customers really want? Have you ever asked? Because a lot of times in business we don't.
Well, I talk to people as they come in. It's just kind of my nature. And people want quality food, and they want it at a reasonable price. And they're willing to pay a little bit more because they're expecting higher-end better quality.
And you'll deliver.
And that's what you know the expectation is, and that's what I strive to do each and every time. So,
how late are you open?
We are right now. We're only open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
We used to be 10:30 to 8 p.m. Had to shrink that down a little bit for COVID just to be able to staff.
Do you think that there's any opportunity that might be missed, Mike, on right now late night has changed? Service industry
you
people.
segued him into what he's doing with his ghost kitchen.
Yes.
So, well, service kitchen, right? Or service people, they don't have anywhere to go. But guess what? At 9:30, if I got a little ping on my phone and said, hey, remember that sandwich that you love? I can have that and a beer waiting for you at 10:30. All you got to do is click here and pay now. All of a sudden, I could be on my way home. I live in Cap Hill. I work at a bar or restaurant downtown. I don't get off till 10:30.
So that is technology based a little bit there.
Yeah.
Fine. So what I want to do is not overwhelm shock the system too much. I think we have 3 solid things that until we meet again next time, we're going to do these 3 things. We're going to concentrate on some social media, some mailing lists, and some partnerships. Okay. As we look at these partnerships, because really the algorithm, Mike, is not to put yourself out on an island alone. Using your own marketing, it takes a lot of time to build your own social media, so on and so forth. Other businesses are willing to support your businesses as much as you support their business. So we'll talk offline about what some of your purveyors are and businesses and maybe some options for that. Sometimes you have to look at maybe a little bit teeny increased margin as a marketing budget, right? That you're increasing this quality of this ingredient to use this business as leverage for their marketing and the partnership. I think these 3 things, and if you're willing to put your face on your business and talk from a very humanistic, homegrown Colorado, Denver businessman standpoint, and you talk to your customer about what you have and how, I think you have everything in front of you. I really do. I think incrementally, we can make some progress here in utilizing this platform on the Modern Eater Show. You up for it?
Absolutely.
All right, so that means that, Jay will be down there creating some social media. I'll be popping by every so often. Brian will go down there and freak out, and we'll look at some of your
That's what I'm good at.
And just show what's going on. And you're there, and you're ready to serve people, and you're doing a great job. And internally, your infrastructure's perfect.
Yeah, I've got, I'm very fortunate. I got a great team, and it's hard to find people who are passionate about wanting to go in and make sandwiches, but I've got those people, and I'm fortunate to have them.
Let's talk food now. The subs, so I can eat but that's not sustainable for me anyway. I got to eat a salad throw one salad in every so often. You're making new delicious salads too.
Yes, we've got a pretty good salad lineup. I use chopped romaine and a heritage blend. And we've got some good recipes. We make falafels. So I've got a falafel and feta salad with some Kalamata olives, tomatoes, cucumbers. And then the dressing for that one, we use our house vinaigrette that we make and a mint lime yogurt, which is awesome on those falafels.
Man, that ain't your daddy's deli.
No.
Come on.
Well, and you got to know this, Mike.
Good stuff.
Delis are one of this guy's
I love
favorite
'em.
places.
I do.
We will drive all over this state.
For a good sandwich.
And he'll have us in some little town and looking for some deli, and the only deli is the King Soopers Deli. He's got us driving. I mean, I think one day he's going to make us pull over.
If I'm in Pueblo, I'll make us go to Salida to go to Sweeties because I love that location. And hot subs, cold subs. Talk about the menu. Let's get hungry, and then we'll just tear through this food.
So I've got what I call first chair selects, but they're more of your deli kind of sandwich. You being the sandwich business, you got to have a great Italian sandwich, and I think Zepp's delivers there. One of the sandwiches is the North Denver Dipper, where we use our shaved ham, pepperoni, garlic aioli, and some roasted red peppers. And
that's like you're spent on a grinder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
It's almost like eating pizza and a sandwich is kind of how I describe it to people. It's got little garlic hints that come through, and then our marinara is spiced up a little bit. And it's a great sandwich. We have the Telluride turkey sandwich with our house roasted turkey. We make a candied lemon mayo, a bacon onion jam that goes on there, some arugula and tomatoes, and mozzarella cheese. So
if you want to spoil yourself, get down to Zepp's Epic Sandwiches, really, is what it sounds like.
And bring a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we use good sirloin steak for our steak sandwiches. We've got great veggie options. We do a falafel sandwich. It's got that mint lime yogurt and a bunch of veggies on it. I do Pueblo cheesesteak. We use some Pueblo chilies from Millburger Farms down in Pueblo.
Shane. Great guy.
Shane,
yeah, I know Shane.
So use those, and then I do that sandwich with steak, chicken, or tofu.
Wow.
So, and then I've got, some solid salads.
Yeah. Okay, Dudeski, I called him Dudeski. I'm on your Facebook page right now, Mike.
Okay.
Good news and bad news. Good news is you're pushing your catering, which you should, right?
Yep.
Yeah, give a shout out to your catering.
Well, I do catering, and I've adapted to the current times, where I like to say everything is safely shareable.
Yep.
Our sandwich trays, instead, I used to wrap them up in wax paper, cut them in half, and display them real nicely. Now what I do is I make the sandwiches, cut them in half, and wrap them in cellophane. So,
and put that the cut side open up.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's an
down.
awesome display. The box top is utilized
cool.
to label the sandwich and tell everybody what the ingredients are.
4 days ago, great post, lots of hashtags. Somebody put that up.
Well, and I'll tell you, though, he's also got beer and wine, right?
Yeah,
he's got beer and wine, too.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that because I got to tell you, you got
so
a local.
14 people liked that last post. One person had a comment. Let's see what this one person said.
Well, and Greg would tell you,
Chris,
you got to share that with more of your partners.
Chris said, Zepp's is the best. I got to get down there for a Telluride turkey. So that's Chris Ruskowski.
Yeah.
Yes, you do, Chris, early and often. So, yep, Brian, you're right. You could tag some of your purveyors in here, and they would like to share that for you. Here lies the rub. The post before that, May 26th. The one before that, May 6th. So in the past 6 months, you put up 5 posts on Facebook. It's unacceptable.
Yeah. Yes.
I
agree. I was very much more active when I was pumping up the fundraising and trying, I'm like, if this is a way to save my business, awesome. If I can give back at the same time, even better. I mean, it's a no-brainer at that point.
Sometimes this social media can get pretty depressing, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're like, man, I mean, I'm supposed to be positive and post something, and then it's like we're living in the apocalypse right now. How am I supposed to, my business or push my business, right? Mm-hmm. That mindset's going away.
Yep.
We're going to get creative. We're going to talk about some pop-up stuff, too, on the next round. Okay? Yeah.
And that's one of my things, and you bring up a good point, and to be perfectly transparent with you, is very scary, right?
Yeah.
Like tearing everything down, wondering if you're, is your place going to be standing because people have thrown rocks through your windows and trashed the place? All of these things, and I was definitely in a funk. I'm typically a pretty happy, outgoing, optimistic guy, and for a while I was just very
alone.
Yeah,
we're here for you, bro.
I appreciate you guys.
This is it, dude.
Well, times were ugly, Mike. I mean, times were ugly.
We're going to get back at it. We're going to get after it. So social media, mailing lists, and partnerships. These 3 things we're going to dial in with Mike Brenner here from Zepp's Epic Sandwiches. And I think they're very achievable, and it's one of those things to where when you feel like you're not on an island, when you've got other people in the community, and then we're going to do some fun stuff because here's where it really gets cool, is when the community starts making your social media for you. We're going to do some calls out to people. Get in there. Let's take some photos. Let's get that Instagram story firing. Let's get it on all cylinders and get the word out because now more than ever, this is where the wagon circles back around. You need to figure out how to get back in touch with your customer because someone else is out there looking for them.
Exactly.
Let's eat.
All right.
What a good show today. Faith Johnson working hard on the website. We got a back-end store coming. That sounds weird. We got a store. We're working on a store in the back end, a back end store. We're selling Brian's back end.
I already put my credit card number in it.
You did. You're ready to go.
I'm a loyal customer.
Oh, we're working hard on that and a lot more. But this is what it's all about, Brian. There's no doubt about it at all. Next week, our final summer dinner series dinner at Chef Troy Gard. It's sold out. Maybe next year. But what a summer it's been.
Whoa. Slow down. Ain't going to be no next year. It's going to be fall dinner series, my friend.
That's right.
The fall dinner series is coming up at the end of September, beginning of October.
Yes.
You better stay tuned.
Man, all I hear is work.
Oh, quit your whining. At least you have something to work, even if it's for free.
That's
for
right.
God's sakes, folks, get out there and do it.
Something to be said for that. Positive energy, the couple of rocks that you need with your team, and I'm sure you already have them, is a great positive attitude and come in here fierce, ferocity. Let's get those guys. We'll go down there and train them. Here's what we're commissioning you to do one very responsible post a day. That's it. We're commissioning you. But here's the guidelines.
Well, could we even maybe start every week and then work them into a day? We might. I mean, I know we want to hit them hard. We want to get them going out there.
I don't think the expectations are too much. But we'll see. We'll see. There were some guys down there when I saw them on Saturday. They love that stuff. Tag me. They loved it. So I don't know. Maybe there's
it could be
there's a star within the organization that'll shine. You never know what rises up. You're like, I didn't know you had that talent or that skill. Or what? You have 1 million followers on Instagram and you never told me?
But Greg, isn't it so true?
Night job?
We forget about all the partners that we have.
Yeah.
And for Mike, one of the partners that he has is actually the people that come in.
Yeah.
And finding the people who come in that really have the ability to move the mark. And then your vendors.
And don't feel like you're inconveniencing them. Because a lot of times, in like anything in life, it's just the ask. Yeah. Oh, for sure, I'll do that, whatever. So we're going to work on a couple of these things. You got the product. You got the people. You got the everything in place. And I think just these couple of current things, we'll get you back up at that 100%.
Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Well, it's a tall order now. It's like, come on, Hollenbeck. You promised me, right? Anything over the 100%, though, I'd like. No, I'm just kidding. All right, cool. Mike, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Zepp's Epic Sandwiches.
Wait, we can't go anywhere. We got to eat.
Oh, I know, but I'm going to eat offline. I'm going to enjoy it.
Oh, he couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, he will not eat. Like he said, he set it up. He said, I'm going to eat online.
I thought it would be cool, but I don't know how many people want to hear you just smacking your lips there.
Well, what are we doing for the last 2 hours?
You remember when I talked about ferocity? That's what's going to happen to these delicious sandwiches.
I like that.
I got to also thank Beth Gruitch from Crafted Concepts, Rioja Bistro Vendome, Stoke and Genuine, Altrea, and she's just, you can tell, her and Jen, what a match. It's a powerhouse one, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
those people
I think it's the marriage there of the chef and the businesswoman. Yeah. That are just like perfect.
Rick Dyer and Michael Dyer from Bonnie Brae Tavern. They might need, after we go through this, because we're going to build it with Brennan. But with Brenner, once we get this equation done, maybe we bring it over to those guys at Bonnie Brae Tavern. So here's what
and it's interesting, folks, because every business right now is different. Quite honestly, I mean, I look at those two guys, way different than you. You've got something. You've got like a horse. That you've got a rope around, and you were trying to hold that baby back. Those guys have got an older horse that they're trying to figure out how to give it a little life. So it's everyone's different, but I think that these strategies could really work for all restaurateurs.
We'll thank those guys as well. Jay, what's coming up tomorrow? It's a Thursday tomorrow. Wow, can you believe it? A week, the summer's going by. Still 1 million degrees outside. I ask you this every day.
Steve Breesley from
from SCA.
Breesley from SCA. There's a CO2 shortage thing going on. There's folks drinking IPAs that don't want all the calories in IPAs, so he's been making some of those
low-calorie IPAs.
There's a company that I'm really trying to get on, and I can't remember their name, but they have developed a device that recycles CO2. But at any rate, CO2 is a big thing right now, and apparently breweries waste a ton of it because there's no way to recycle it, so on and so forth. Our buddy Jeff Rourke at A+ Beverage Solutions, 720-272-3809, will be on with Charlie from Slater's 50/50, where he just did a bang-up sweet installation over there.
That's a show right there.
Yeah, right.
That's a show. Look at that. Today, actually, well, no, that was a little while back. We cross-posted one of our shows to Zeps a little while back.
We did.
What was
I think
April
it was
20th.
in April. Yeah.
420.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was 420.
How could I forget? Oh, well, you forget everything on 420.
That's right. I was going to say.
How
could you remember?
It's lunchtime. I hope you do the same thing. Support local. No more money wandering.
Yeah. Get down to 12th and Broadway.
Because literally, if you're jumping into a Quiznos and you have this option, I want to go out there and just find you.
Well, but
I
and
wanna
guess what?
grab you.
Quiznos is no longer
Shake you around.
Colorado owned. They're gone. That
I don't
guy,
care anything.
Jared Leonard lives in his old house. He's out of here.
Does he really?
Yes, he does. He's up in Evergreen.
Bizarre.
And that guy's gone. And this is who you need to be supporting is Zeps.
Yeah, we need to make the next Quiznos right here, Denver, Colorado. And why not? Okay, for Jay Parker and Brian Freeman and Faith Johnson, I'm Greg Hollenbach. We'll see you tomorrow. Kick the rocket down the road. The Modern Eater continues.